Hey there, gold makers. This is Reckles with WTBGold, and today we're going to test how to make gold quickly with Khorium ore. Our to-do list for this 3-hour test has 3 zones in it. First, we're going to go to Nagrand, then Isle of Quel'Danas, and finally Netherstorm. And at the end, we'll know which zone is most profitable and which route is best for farming Khorium ore specifically. So, let's head out. If you want to follow along with any of these routes, I've got a map in the top left with my path. Red circles are caves you should go into, and red X's are caves to avoid. But before I explain this route specifically, let's talk about why you should be mining Khorium in the first place. First off, the ore by itself sells for 20 gold on most auction houses, and bars sell for 50. And if you're the only supplier, you can charge double because it's required for some of the best crafted transmog out there. It's really rare, and honestly, it's a pain to farm. To know why, though, let's look at Burning Crusade ore spawns. In BC, you had 2 base nodes. In Hellfire Peninsula, the easiest zone, only Fel Iron nodes spawn, and in Isle of Quel'Danas, the hardest zone, only Adamantium ore spawns. The zones in between have a mix of the two according to their difficulty. Khorium nodes are the rare spawn of Adamantium zones and pop up 1 out of every 15 nodes and yield about 2 ore each time. But in all the zones in between, except for Hellfire Peninsula, Fel Iron nodes can also spawn as Adamantite nodes. So essentially, these tests we're doing are looking for the highest density Adamantite areas in the game, but we don't want to completely ignore Fel Iron. Now that you know how Khorium works, let's get back to the route. For Nagrand, you pretty much just want to go around the perimeter of the zone, but there are also 6 main caves. 3 of them have ore, and 3 of them don't. You also want to fly over all of the lakes, trenches, and the valleys, so it's kind of like mining Borean tundra, in that you're flying mostly around the outside, but trying to hit the interior as efficiently as possible. And as a bonus, if you don't have the Dark War Talbook or the Dark Riding Talbook, you'll kill a few ogres who drop Oshugun powder, and those mounts require that you kill about 4,000 ogres. While I like this zone for Khorium farming, and it's great that you get a decent amount of Fel Iron too, it's easy to get turned around, and it isn't the best for mining while you're watching a movie or a YouTube video on another monitor. So for that, let's head over to Isle of Quel'Danas. To get there, head over to Shatrath, go into the center of the main tower, and get lost checking the edges of each room trying to find the portal because it's always the last one you check. The Isle of Quel'Danas is interesting though because there are only 17 nodes on the entire island. It's my favorite zone to farm though because there are only 17 nodes to farm on the entire island. You can easily memorize every spawn location and just make a big loop. Whereas the Nagrand farming lap took about 20 minutes to farm for each lap, this one is more relaxing at about 5.5 to 6 minutes each. It's nice though, because from my testing at least, you'll gather about twice as many BC gems from this route compared to Nagrand. Now, I know that this is a guide and all, but honestly, part of the fun of this zone, at least for me, was finding and learning where each node is. So I'm not actually going to put the map on the top left for this one, although you're welcome to rewind a little bit and screenshot the node locations I put up earlier. To run this route, start on the path where you poured in and head east towards the water, and then just stay in between the beach and the wall. When you get to the forest, check for the 2 ore that are over there, and then cross the bridge where the Sunwell Plateau ads are. And there's usually an ore kind of nestled in the corner there. It's easy to miss if you aren't looking for it though. After that, you're mostly done. Just head back through the ads to the path and head east again towards the beach. The last thing I'd say about this place is that if there's ever another person farming here and you already whispered them, just leave. There's really only ever room for one. But that's it. We can check this place off the list and move on to the next zone. Ah, Netherstorm. I learned about this route from a friend who regularly earns over 200,000 gold a day. No joke. And he swears that it is the best Khorium farming spot in the game. So I immediately went out to the caves under Manaforge Ultras and Manaforge Ra and got lost until I was crying in a fetal position and logged out in frustration. But really, the caves here suck. For Netherstorm, a majority of the Adamantite ore, and therefore Khorium ore, is located around the mana forges, and in the treacherous caves underneath them. There are 3 mana forges in the zone, but the one in the southwest corner doesn't really have as many nodes, and is way out in BFE, so you can ignore it. Start at Manaforge Ultras, either in the cave or not, and then grab all the nodes around it, and then head south towards the Nether Pipeline, so you can head west towards the Biodome in the center of the map. While you're mainly grabbing everything at Ultras and Manaforge Ara, we're trying to efficiently pick up everything in between them as well. After you go into the caves at Ara and loop around everything there, head around the northern perimeter of the map back to where you started, grabbing everything along the way. Netherstorm is interesting compared to Nagrand in that it actually has more than twice as much Adamantite than Fel Iron. This is important because of the force spawn mechanic. If you were just focusing on grabbing Khorium, you might want to ignore Fel Iron nodes, but especially here, that would be a really bad idea. The way force spawn works in World of Warcraft mining is that if you have 100 possible mining nodes and you don't farm a zone for an hour, it'll only have, say, 40 nodes spawned. You get there and mine 20 of them. When you mine your 21st node, you've passed some threshold and one of the other 80 possible spawn locations somewhere on the map insta-spawns. So why does this matter? Well, in Burning Crusade, Fel Iron and Adamantite ore are linked. So in this zone, where there are twice as many Adamantite, it's actually really important that you clear out as many of the Fel Iron as possible so that you get as many chances of farming up the Adamantite on your laps, and therefore as many chances of the Khorium. Long story short, don't skip nodes. It's not faster. Alright, let's check this off the list too. That's 3 tests completed, 3 hours of mining done. One of the really weird things that I noticed is that I got about 50% of the gem drops in Nagrand that I got everywhere else, even though my ore yields were similar. Could be RNG, or maybe some long-lost nerf that everyone forgot about. For Nagrand, we got 16 Khorium, 236 Adamantite, and 32 Fel Iron. For Isle of Quel'Danas, we got 8 Khorium, 135 Adamantite, and 0 Fel Iron, and Netherstorm yielded 15 Khorium, 207 Adamantite, and 66 Fel Iron. Netherstorm and Nagrand each pulled in right at 1,450 gold per hour, with Quel'Danas in a miserable 3rd place. I'll be doing a guide on some of the tricks of selling Khorium next, and then I'll be going back to Warlord's Professions. But if 1,500 gold doesn't seem like a lot compared to some of the other guides, remember that if mining is your main profession, you want to be diversifying the ore that you post up. You want to be posting 1,500 gold in Khorium and Adamantite. You want to be posting Ghost Iron and Elementium and Serenite and Mithril and Thorium. You want to be posting a lot of different ore, so you're always selling a lot of everything, so you're always making a lot of gold. You're not just flooding the Ghost Iron market, okay? Anyway, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Remember to subscribe, share this with your friends, and have a great day, guys.